Hi everyone, it's Shane from PlantBasedRunner.com, and today we're going to talk about how to set up your own home studio. Okay, setting up your own home studio is not a hard thing to do. There are a few components you're going to need, but you don't have to spend a ton of money and you don't have to go all out right at the beginning. It's easy to get something just to dip your toe into the whole process, but you really don't have to go all out to get a great sound and to make great music. First of all, you're going to need an interface. Now, what an interface does is it's a go-between between your instrument and your recording software, which will be on a laptop or computer. You can spend as little as you want or as much as you want on these interfaces, and it depends on what you want. If you're going to be recording a whole bunch of people, you're going to need a lot of inputs, so you're going to need you got to spend a little bit more money for an interface like that. But if it's just like for me, I'm either doing vocals or bass, and I don't do them at the same time, so I only need two inputs, and so it saves a lot of money that way. I have two interfaces. One I use when I'm at home, and it's a little more high end. It's not really meant for travel, although it's pretty sturdy. But I also have one that I use on the road. I take with me. It's not as it's probably not as high end as the other one, but it still sounds really good, and I've recorded a lot on it, and so far I haven't had any complaints. So you don't really have to go all out, but of course the better, the more money you spend, it's a little bit better quality, maybe has a few more bells and whistles. So that's the interface. Now that would connect your microphone or your instrument to your digital audio workstation, which is DAW, is what it's known as. So with the DAWs, oh my gosh, there's so many, and again, some are expensive, some are cheap, some are even free. What is the one? Audacity, I think, is one that's free, but it's mainly for podcasting. So you can dip your toe into the ocean of recording with that and not spend a lot of money. There's another one called Reaper that you can use without a license, although it's good to support them, and they're not a lot of money. I think it was like 60 to 80 bucks for the program, and that's unlimited updates and things like that. So that's great. There's like Studio One, there's Logic Pro, there's like I say, Pro Tools is the one I use, and it's kind of like the industry standard, although that might be changing, who knows. But for now, it's pretty much the industry standard, and that's the one I'm most familiar with. But just do a search for the different DAWs out there, and try some of the free ones or some that have a 30-day evaluation and stuff like that, and it can get you going and get you trying this stuff out. Now, of course, yes, you have to have a computer or a laptop. I personally have a laptop because then I can travel and continue recording everything with that. It just makes more sense for me. After that, so that you're pretty much set up when you've got your interface and your computer and your DAW, whatever one you choose. Now, most DAWs come with some plugins, and a plugin is like, your reverbs, your delays, EQs, and it goes on from there. And most DAWs come with basic plugins. Now, some of them aren't great, some of them are awesome, and also, like any of this stuff, it depends on who's doing it. You can have, it's like an instrument. You can have the best instrument, but if you don't know how to play it, it doesn't really translate to the amount you paid for it. But if you know what you're doing, you can take even the free DAWs and create incredible music. If you have a Mac or Apple product, it comes with a program called GarageBand, and it's a fantastic program. It's super powerful. You can make incredible music on it. It's simplified, and it doesn't have a lot of the bells and whistles that the expensive ones have. But if you're just doing demos or just trying to get into this and trying to figure it out, it works great. I have no complaints there. It does everything you need it to do, and again, it's free. So that's something to check out if you really want to start getting into recording. But of course, as you go along and maybe as you start doing sessions, you may have to branch out to one of the other software choices to kind of, you know, connect with others and record on on the platforms they want to record on. So now you can use a set of headphones to monitor yourself, or you can use actual studio monitors. Now, studio monitors are different than just your stereo speakers. Their response is usually pretty flat for more of a true sound for when you're mixing and everything, whereas your stereo monitors, usually they're tweaked to add low end or whatever. So those aren't the greatest, but you can get studio monitors for fairly cheap. And again, the more you pay, the better they sound. But here's a secret about studio monitors. Find a song you love. Find a song you think is a great mix. Use it as a reference. You can hear how the drum sounds are on, and then you calibrate your own speakers. So you hear the drum sounds and you go, okay, that's the ones I want. So you play them through your monitor and you try to emulate that sound. Even if you've got cheap speakers, you can still, and it doesn't sound great, you know, if you can get it close to how it sounds on that reference track, then you're in the ballpark and you can get it pretty close. And every monitor is different. Some, you know, don't produce the low end as much, so when you mix, you might add too much low end for the average listener and stuff. So you really got to tweak that sound and figure out how your monitors sound when referencing a track that you think is a great mix. So that's one way. Headphones is the same. Some people only use headphones, and it's the same thing. Use a reference track and try to get your sounds as close to that reference track as you can. And now there's even, I think Slate Digital has a set of headphones out that emulate everything from a world-class mix studio to a Tesla car to a club to cheap headphones, a boom box. It's pretty, and apparently it's amazing. Like for mixing now, you can be headphones, especially people that live in apartments and condos and stuff where they can't crank it and not make their neighbor mad. These headphones now could be game changers, and it could eliminate the need for studio reference monitors, which is a huge savings then. And also, if it emulates world-class studios, it would be like, you know, to go into a world-class studio and mix a song is super expensive. And the cost of these headphones compared to that is pretty cheap. So if that actually, I haven't tried them yet, but I've read a lot and heard a few things, and people are flipping out about these things. So there's all that's coming down the pipe that might change the whole home recording experience as well, and get you better mixes and better sounding tracks. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Now, as far as the process, you know what, YouTube is your friend. Whatever DAW you choose, you can go, and there are so many tutorials online on how to, from an absolute beginner to more advanced, you know, on mixing and everything like that. So you have all these resources at your fingertips for free, and they'll basically teach you how to record and do a great job right out of the gate. Because there is a lot of things you have to know, you know, things like gain structure and everything like that they'll teach you that will make a huge difference for your recording, keeping clean and everything. And at first it's going to be daunting, because when you open up a DAW, it looks like there's a lot there, but you really, for me, even in Pro Tools, there's only a small section of stuff that I actually use, because I'm not really mixing here. I'm basically playing tracks for people. So there's only that, I only use what I need on that. So learn what you need to know. Go get every tutorial off YouTube you can. Really dive in, because the more you learn, the better your recordings are going to sound, and the faster the process is going to be, and the happier the client is going to be at the end, because now you're sending them a track that they don't have to do a lot to. So if you can do that, and because time is so important, and a lot of producers I know don't have a lot of time. They're really behind the guns. So the better product you can send them, the less work they have to do, and the happier they're going to be, and chances are they're going to give you a call back on it. So there you are. You could be sitting in your basement in Nowheresville and be playing major tracks for the superstars. Who knows, right? So the nice thing is you can do it. And now there's software called SessionWire where you can remotely pretty much they're almost at a point where you can actually play live. And so what that does is you're on video through SessionWire on your computer, and the producer could be anywhere in the world, and you hear the track, you play stuff, and you talk back and forth in real time going, I like that, I don't like that, can you try this? It's absolutely amazing. And it's still in its infancy, but it works really good already. And I can't imagine what it's going to be like in a year or two. Like, they're just constantly updating that. So now you have that ability to work with a producer, but still record at home. So that is a game changer right there. So all this stuff is available to you, and it's easy. It's a great way to record your own material. It's a great way to play with other people, collaborate, and it really isn't that big of an investment just to jump in the bare basement kind of thing. Of course, as you get more popular as far as getting hired for tracks, you'll want to upgrade. And again, you're just going to have to do your homework on that, because everybody has a preference to their interface, to their software, plugins, all that kind of stuff. So you're going to have to really figure it out for yourself. But to jump in right at the start, it's super easy, and it's not that big of an investment. So I would say get a cheap interface to start. Get one of the free DAWs or one of the cheaper DAWs, and just experiment and go to the tutorials online. And if you're having problems, Google's your best friend, because if you're having a problem, other people are having a problem, and other people have solutions. So so just use all those resources, and you can be making some great recordings at home. So there you are. I hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see you on the next video. Okay, take care. Hey, if you like this video or any of the others I've done, hit that subscribe button. And if you're looking for bass lessons, head on over to my website, plantbassrunner.com. Go to my contact page, send me a note. We'll work something out. Thanks for watching.